You're making a mistake in your business without even knowing it. It's not a problem that we're making mistakes within our business because that means that we are growing, we are making the businesses stronger, and we are even trying new things, which is essential for growth and figuring out what is going to work for you. Mistakes are the stepping stones to success. What we don't want to do is get stuck in a rut, making the same mistake over and over again. We want to learn from these mistakes so that we can move forward with clarity, confidence, and ease. And this is what I want to illuminate here in today's video, and to inspire you to find clarity and confidence in your way forward by looking at these mistakes, to address them, and to help move your business forward. Now, I'm not going to be talking about the mistakes that you can maybe see. Maybe you tried something and it failed. Maybe you shared something and it didn't get the engagement that you were looking for. Those are things that we can see in the external world, but I'm going to talk about the things that are going on within that you may not see, but it's a mistake that you're making over and over again without really realizing it. So, for this purpose, I'm going to share the 5 big mistakes that I made in my own business, and hopefully that can help guide you forward in your own. So one of the major mistakes that I made early on in my business was that I did too much for too long all by myself. And that was due to financial restriction, but even when I could afford to outsource certain things, I didn't. Mostly this had to do with my lack mindset and the fear that if I delegated something, I would be wasting money or wasting time. And there was also an element of control that I wanted to have over every touch point within my business, which was exhausting. So the first person that I hired was a bookkeeper, and this freed up 2 days within my month, which allowed me to focus on the thing that I did best, which was design, illustration, and getting new clients in the door. So this is the benefit of outsourcing and getting help when you're able to, is that you're able to free up time for the things that you should be focusing on and the things that you're really good at. Now, this may require a little bit of some inner work because it will require you to ask for help. And sometimes that can be uncomfortable for people who are not used to asking and receiving help. So check in with that, because that's going to be an element to receiving help that you need. One of the other major mistakes that I made in my business is that I did not listen to my burnout. And I have a video about that. I'll link it in one of the corners here, as well as in the description box if you're interested in that topic specifically. But my burnout wasn't just doing too much for too long or doing it all myself. That was an element of it, but it was mostly because I was misaligned or detached from the purpose of my business, the purpose of why I was doing what I was doing. And because I was misaligned, that energetically drained me. And I was also getting further and further away from the thing that I loved most, which was design and illustration. And I had to figure out what it was that I was truly passionate about and where I wanted to go, what I wanted to build, and who I wanted to serve along the way. The other major mistake that I made in my business was I followed a path that was laid out by somebody else or multiple people. And I followed that path without question. I stuck to those rule books and I did everything that was laid out in those books. And while it worked, I was successful. I didn't leave room for my own internal knowing, my own intuition, and my own creativity. I didn't leave room for the other possibilities specific to my own journey and to me as a business. And that most likely also contributed to my burnout as well. One other major mistake that I made was that I avoided doing things that I didn't want to do but needed to get good at. I didn't want to look at my weaknesses. I didn't want to work on the things that didn't excite me. But as a business owner, sometimes we have to do those difficult things alongside the things that we are passionate about and that we desire. One of those things for me is marketing, sales, and strategy. I absolutely repelled the idea of having to put my sales hat on to sell my artwork. My social media didn't do well. My campaigns weren't really great. They were successful enough, but I feel that I could have done a lot better there to really drive home the value that I was delivering and not just maybe check my stuff out. So by understanding strategy, sales, and marketing from an angle that works for me, I was able to get really good at communicating the value to my clients, and I'm still working on that. That is a work in progress. So we'll see how that shifts over time. And finally, the last big mistake that I made in my business is that I did not really start from a place of clarity. I didn't know what my big vision was. I didn't really know what my purpose was. I didn't know what my mission and my values were. I just kind of wung it, and hoped that I would figure it out on the way. And almost even worse, allow my audience to define that for me. So I did 3 months of work to really get clear on what the heck I was doing within my business. Why was it meaningful? What did I stand for? What was my mission? What was my purpose? What were my values? And everything that went along with that. How could I communicate that in my language, in my visuals? And so I completely did an overhaul once I knew that I wanted to shift gears within my business. And that made everything moving forward so much more clear. I felt like I didn't have to reinvent the wheel every single time that I sat down to write newsletter copy or a social media post or even a video idea. I knew exactly where I was going and who I was speaking to. And if you're interested in doing that for your own business specifically, if you're feeling lost, confused, a little fuzzy on what your mission, purpose, and values are, I have a Brand Foundations Clarity Kit, which is a DIY worksheet to help you build the foundations of the business, to really understand your business from the heart so that you can move forward with clarity, confidence, and ease. And this will help in your communications and even your decision making. It has been profound in my own business, and I hope it will do the same for you. So check that out. I will leave the link for that in the description box. And if you are needing a little bit of an outside perspective, I am also here to help you with that. I do offer a business clarity review, which is a PDF report that I send you. You'll submit information to me and let me know what struggles or challenges you're experiencing in your business. I'll look at all of the information you send me, including the links that you submit, if any, and I will provide an outsider's perspective based on my experience as a creative entrepreneur and a graphic designer and illustrator of 20 years, as well as using my intuitive abilities and tarot to be able to help you guide your way forward, to see what's missing, what's working, what can be looked at on a deeper level, and where I see there's opportunity for you to expand and grow. So if you're interested in that, again, the link for that will be in the description box. I hope this illuminated something for you today, my dear soul-led friend. Until we meet again, stay curious, and we'll see you soon.